I have a quick question. How many of your followers became paying clients last month? If the answer is close to zero, you do not have a content problem. You have a brand architecture problem. And that's exactly what we are fixing today. There are two types of founders posting content right now. The first type posts when they feel like it. They hired someone to make a logo, they pick colors they like, they have no idea what they actually want their audience to do after watching. They check the numbers, see nothing, and quit in 3 months. Second type is different. They know exactly what they want to be known for. Every post they publish moves a viewer one step closer to a buying decision. Here's what nobody tells you. The second part, it's not harder. It is just on purpose. But before we talk about how to get there, we need to fix the definition. Because most founders get this completely wrong. Branding is not a logo. Branding is not a color palette. Branding is this. You pick something your audience cares about and pair your name with it. You do it consistently until your audience starts making that association on their own without you having to force it. That's the whole game. Nike paired themselves with athletic greatness and they paid Michael Jordan to be the proof. Harley Davidson paired themselves with freedom and they sold motorcycles to accountants who wanted to feel like outlaws on weekends. Apple paired themselves with creativity and people spent $2,000 on laptop just to send email and it still feel good about it. Same move every time. Pick the pairing. Repeat it for years. Now, think about what this means for your business. Imagine two different founders with exact same skills and the same pricing. One pairs their name with fast, reliable results for e-commerce brands. The other just posts about business in general. Same content volume, completely different inbound. Because the first one made a decision, the second one didn't. The pairing is the decision that determines who shows up in your DMs ready to buy. By the end of this video, you will know exactly what your pairing is and how to use it to bring in clients. Here's the problem with most brand advice. It skips the most important step, deciding where you're actually trying to go. Your brand is going to get defined whether you want it or not. Either you define it on purpose or your audience defines it for you. And what they come up with is rarely what you want. So we work backwards. 4 questions and answer them honestly. Question 1. What outcome do I actually want? Not the vague version. Be more specific. Do you want to sell a product, get hired, raise money, sell a course, land speaking gigs, build a media company? Each one of those requires completely different brand. You cannot pick all of the above. Question 2. What do I need to be known for to make that outcome happen? If you want to sell software to founders, you need to be known as someone who actually ships software, not someone who tweets about productivity. If you want to raise money, you need to be known for execution, not opinions. Question 3. What do I actually need to do to be known for that? This is where most people close the tab. Because your brand is not what you say, it is the actions you repeat in public. If you want to be known for execution, you have to ship in public. If you want to be known for trust, you have to do the boring, slow work of keeping your word for years. Question 4. What do I need to learn to be able to do that? Because most of the person you're trying to become, you're not there yet. The gap between where you are and where you need to be, that is the board. Here is the trap most founders fall into. They are posting without destination. They do not know where they are trying to land, so any road feels fine. Do not be that founder. Pick the destination, then build the brand backwards from there. Here's what happens when a founder actually answers these four questions honestly. They stop creating random content. Every post starts pointing at one specific type of person, and that person starts recognizing themselves in what you are putting out. That recognition, that moment when someone reads your post and thinks, this person gets exactly what I'm dealing with, that is what starts the client conversation. Okay, this next part is more important than everything you just wrote down. Deciding what you want to be known for, that's the easy part. Every founder stops right there. Deciding what you refuse to be associated with, that's what actually protects you long term. In 2026, your reputation can be gone in 48 hours. Not because you did something wrong, because you stood next to someone who did. Appear enough times with people running bad businesses, your audience will assume you are running one too. Accept every collab, every guest spot, every partnership just because it adds reach and you stop being selective. And being selective is the entire point of a brand. Here's the rule I hold myself to. If a collaboration would 10x my reach, but the person behind it runs in a sketchy crowd, it is a no. Full stop. Awareness is not worth it if the association costs you trust with the right people. Because the right people are the only ones who actually buy. Same rule applies inside your own content. Do not post drama because it gets engagement. Do not dunk on competitors to look clever. Do not use clickbaits that the algorithm loves today and your future buyers distrust tomorrow. Your gut is your filter. If something feels off, the email, the offer, the person, just pass. The cost of saying no to one opportunity is tiny. The cost of cleaning up your reputation a year later is not. Think about it from the client side. Before someone pays you, they go back through your content. They look at who you collaborated with, they look at what you said publicly. They're not just evaluating your skills, they're evaluating whether they can trust you. The founder who protect their associations are the ones who stay trusted long enough for the right clients to find them and say yes. Now, the part that actually makes you stand out. The goal of your brand is not to blend in with everyone doing what you do. The goal is to find the gap, the thing your entire space is ignoring. Look at your industry right now. What is everyone chasing? In the AI and content space, everyone is chasing viral moments, everyone is posting 50 times a week, everyone is screaming to be heard. So the gap is the opposite: calm, consistent, long term trust. Being the one voice in your niche that shows up same way every single week for 3 years. While everyone else burns out chasing the algorithm, find your gap, own it, repeat it until people associate it with you and nobody else. Now, the weapon you use to fill that gap is your story. Most founders tell their story wrong. They use generic language. I'm a hard worker. I'm passionate. I've been doing this my whole life. That doesn't land. Nobody remembers it. Nobody repeats it. What lands is the specific moment that proves the thing you are claiming. Don't say you're resourceful. Tell the Jeff Bezos story. He built Amazon's first desk out of doors he bought at Home Depot because real desks cost too much. You hear that once and you remember it for 10 years because it is specific, because it shows, it doesn't tell. Don't say you worked hard. Tell them the specific moment, the night you were debugging until 4 a.m. and shipped it anyway. The product you launched from a hospital waiting room, the client call you took at the wedding. Actually, here's mine. I was sitting at the home in front of my computer and I watched the AI, post its first piece of content through Xroad Studio to different platforms by itself. Not me hitting publish, not a human scheduler, an AI agent doing it on its own. I just sat there for a minute because in that moment, the product stopped being a scheduling tool and became something else entirely, an execution layer, the infrastructure that AI agents would actually use to do real work in the world. That's the story I tell when I want someone to understand what we are building. Not, I built this scheduler. The moment Claude posted through Xroad. Same fact, one is forgettable, the other one isn't. Imagine two founders in the same niche. Same skills, same pricing, same number of followers. One said, I help businesses grow with content. The other tells the specific moment their system worked, the 4 a.m. launch, the hospital waiting room, the moment they knew this was real. Which one do you remember an hour later? Which one do you reach out when you're ready to buy? The story is what closes the distance between a follower and a client. So find your moment, tell it, use it more than you think you need to. A brand is not built on one viral moment. It's built on a pattern, so every story you tell needs to do three things. First one is catalyst. Why does what you are building even exist? What was broken? What frustrated you enough to start? For me, I got tired of watching founders create great content and then post it nowhere because the tools were a mess and none of them talk to each other. That's the catalyst. Yours is something specific. Find it and lead with it. Then there's a core truth. What do you believe that most of your industry doesn't? This is your edge, not just an opinion, a conviction you defend in public. Mine is distribution beats generation. Everyone is racing to make more content. The actual problem is nobody is getting the content they already have to enough places. So, what's yours? Say it clearly and say it often. Proof is the another one. Your brand is not what you claim, it's what you keep doing in public while people watch. Proof is the result you helped someone get. The product you shipped, the habit you didn't skip, the receipts. Without the proof, catalyst and the core truth are just talk. Nail all three: catalyst, core truth, and proof. You won't just have followers, you will have buyers. And eventually, you'll have people who recommend you to clients when you are not even in the room. That is the brand that brings in business without you having to chase it. Last piece, and this is where most founders make their biggest mistake: start narrow. Gary Vee was the wine guy for years before he ever talked about business. Mr. Beast was obsessed with YouTube strategy before he was anything else. Hormozy was the gym business guy before he became a marketing guy. You do not earn the right to talk about everything. You earn it by being genuinely useful at one thing first. Pick one topic where you can be in the top 1% useful for your specific audience within 12 months. Talk about that, only that, long enough that when someone in your network hears that topic, your name is the first one they think of. Then and only then you expand. Not to anything, to adjacent topic. The wine guy can talk about restaurants. The gym guy can talk about sales. Stay close to your original anchor, or you reset to zero. If you try to be the AI founder and the fitness founder and the productivity guy and the parenting guy all at once, you'll be none of them. The founders who win clients consistently are not the most talented in their space. They're the most associated with one specific thing that their client needs right now. So start narrow, win there, and then expand. Here's what I want you to do in next 24 hours. Open a blank doc. Write the 4 questions from part 2. Answer them. Be specific. The vague answers are useless. Then write down 3 things you refuse to be associated with. Then write down the one topic you're going to own for the next 12 months. That's your foundation. Everything else, the content, the platforms, the design, the posting schedule, is downstream of those 3 decisions. And the clients follow the foundation. Now, once you have that foundation, the next step is making it consistent across every single piece of content you publish. That's where Brand Kit comes in. It's the most important feature inside Xroad Studio. You set your pairing, your voice, your visual style once, and from that point, every image, every caption, every video you create comes out on brand automatically. No more looking like a different business every week. No more content that gets likes but loses clients because the brand feels inconsistent. You can go to xroadstudio.com, link is down in description, and if you like this video, give it a like button and subscribe. So see you next time.